Hey there, we're back for part 2 of the course intro. So we're going to start right here with the course policies. So even though we're working remotely, you want to make sure that you still attend the class, and you'll do that by checking in to Blackboard a couple of times a week. Again, there will be Teams meetings. The invitations for those will be in your KCTCS student email. So although you'll be at home in your jammies or on campus in the library or in the parking lot of where you work, you'll still want to be able to check in to the class. So there will be points given for the Teams meetings. It's very important to turn your work in on time. The schedule already has all of the due dates listed, so you can plan those out. I like to keep a regular calendar, so this one's mine, and I put all the due dates in there so that I know when papers are coming in, so that I can be organized. So when you turn things in late, it's difficult for me to find the time to grade those because I've already used up my grading time for the students who turned them in on time, and I've moved on to something else. So you should be able to, there's ample time between the assignments, and like I said, they're already assigned, so you should be able to put your time management skills to work and not turn in anything late. Although something may happen and you do have to, so you will need to talk to me and let me know, and I can see if that's an acceptable reason. Generally, I do not accept papers after the Blackboard link has closed, so I leave about a 24 to 48 hour grace period. But once the link is closed, and I will not accept papers through email, they have to go through Blackboard. That's the only way I can check for plagiarism, so I'm always a little suspicious of papers that come in through email, so I'm just not going to accept those. So plagiarism, of course, is here, and at OCTC we all have this same sort of structure for 102, so it would be easy to plagiarize. So that's one reason the papers come through Blackboard, and the plagiarism checker in there helps us identify and spot those papers. So you want to make sure that you're doing your own work, you're doing new work, fresh work, and that you're actually learning something, because that's the whole point of paying for and sitting through the class. I don't foresee that there'll be issues with makeup work. Like I said, the Teams meetings, I'll record those. If you miss them, you can get back in and view them for credit. Hopefully nothing catastrophic will happen that will put the internet out for 2 or 3 days, like an ice storm or a windstorm. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. And take pride in your work. Proofread it. Do multiple drafts. By 102, you should have a pretty good grasp of a writing process that works for you. Use that. And if your writing process is sitting down at the computer an hour before the paper's due and blamming it out, you need to find a new writing process, because I'm fearful that's not going to work for 102. So here's the withdrawal policy. You can read through that. I'll use this rubric to grade all of the essays. So you'll want to go over this and let me know if you have any questions about it. Here's a list of the assignments as I foresee them to be at this moment in time. Things could certainly shift and change as we go through the semester. So, and as I mentioned earlier, here is your weekly schedule. So if your class is a Monday, Wednesday class, you can see that a lot of stuff's going to end up due on Wednesday, but there will be a Monday due date from time to time and a Friday due date from time to time. If your class is Tuesday, Thursday, then instead of Wednesday, you're going to have Thursday here. So make sure you're following the schedule, and this schedule should correspond with the calendar tab in Blackboard. So as we did this, I wanted to take a second to talk about the form of the class. So, as you know, English 102's main focus is research. So, and at OCTC, we use MLA in the English classes. So, there are other types of documentation, such as APA for the American Psychological Association, but MLA is kind of a good basic form to learn, and then all the other forms of documentation, APA, Chicago style, they're easy to adapt once you know MLA. So our goal is to write this 10 to 15 page research proposal argument. So we're going to spend the whole semester striving toward this big paper. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to break this big 10 to 15 page paper up into 3 smaller papers. So we're going to do a problem solution paper, a justification paper, and an opposition paper. And once we've written all 3 of those papers, we'll revise those 3 papers into one final researched proposal argument. So the class very much, everything builds on everything else. So let's say you submit the problem solution paper, but then something happens and you miss the justification paper, but you're able to get the opposition paper in. Well, you're going to receive 0 points for that justification paper that you missed, and then you're also not going to do very well on the final paper because you're missing the justification for that argument. So everything is interlaced and everything builds upon everything else. So really keep that in mind, especially as you're choosing a research question. The worst thing you could possibly do is pick a research question based on the paper you got the best grade on in 101. The second worst thing you could do is pick a research question about a topic that you already know 110% that this is how you feel about it and ain't nobody ever going to change your opinion. That's not going to work either. So the major component of 102 is inquiry. So really what you want to spend your time doing is not confirming things you already believe. Instead, you want to spend your time learning and broadening your knowledge. So that's why I say I love it when students pick things like driverless cars or things like artificial intelligence, because these are things that we don't fully already have an opinion about one way or the other. And so even if you start the paper thinking, well, yeah, I think driverless cars will be awesome, it's possible that through your research of driverless cars, you may end up finding that there's a problem that needs to be addressed before those cars can really be awesome. So please, in these first weeks, take the brainstorming and the topic assignments seriously. Give them a good faith effort. Find a topic that you're interested in. You're going to get real bored real quick if you don't. 16 weeks, that's a long time. The other thing I've seen students do is they'll pick a topic that they think they already know everything about and they won't do any research, and so then the paper ends up falling flat and they end up not being able to finish the class. So I can't stress strongly enough how important it is to take some time to find a research question that really excites you. It makes you, maybe you've got 20 minutes before dinner or 20 minutes before your shift starts, and you can sit in your car on your phone and, well, okay, I've got 20 minutes. I'm going to look into my research topic because I'm that interested in it. So think of it in that way. Think of the things that you're so interested in. You're going to spend time researching that whether you're writing a paper about it or not. So again, it's this massive 10 to 15 page paper. 10 to 12 is what I have here. This is the final essay, so this is where you're headed. In order to get here, we're going to go through 3 other papers: the problem solution paper, the justification paper, and the opposition. So these are all the same big paper. So for this week, you're going to start here with Unit 1, the researched proposal argument. Here's the 101 quick review. You'll see that listed over in the schedule. And then there's the big picture overview of proposal argument. And then down here are your 2 assignments. One of them is due this Friday, and the other one is due a little bit later. So remember, take your time on these. Give them your effort. You know, actually think about them. Don't just say, oh, I got to do these in order to get my credit. It's just busy work. It is busy work if you approach it that way, but it's also important work that's going to set the tone for the entire semester. So it's your choice. You give it the effort that you want to give it. I'm just giving you my 20 years of teaching 102 and seeing what has happened to lots of students who have come before you. Again, the students who really kind of narrow it down and pick something that they're just keenly interested in, but maybe don't already know much about, are the students who have the best 102 experience. So it's lunchtime at my house. As you can hear my son in the kitchen rummaging through the cabinets. So that's probably a signal for me to go ahead and finish up. Call me, email me, text me if you have questions, or maybe you have a research question that you want to run by me and see if it's what a little kid. See if it's a good one, and hopefully your brothers and sisters or your children or even your parents are not going to nag and annoy you while you're trying to get your work finished. So again, welcome to class. I'm super excited for this adventure that we're going to have together this fall. I'm here to help. I'm here to walk with you and to guide you through this process. So good luck. Don't be a stranger. Message me. Let me know what you're thinking. And we're going to learn some cool stuff. I can't wait.